Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I'm Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, this is my review for the Oval Season 5, Episode 3, Man Down. Listen, y'all, it's a whole bunch of foolishness and foolery, okay? We got Eli in this office, and he trying to, see what moves he gonna be making next. Now, Donald already technically is fired, but we got Victoria telling him to get the hell up out of here. Now, she don't want him in there either, and she's trying to keep him away from talking to Simone, and that only makes him more suspicious that, wait, what's going on here? Okay, she's in on it with Eli. Of course, he's still trying to make his way in to talk to Simone, and for some reason, Simone is finding it hard to believe that Eli is in on this, and I'm like, wake up, girl. Okay, why is it so hard for you to believe? I'm trying to understand. Now, poor Richard, he over here going through it with going Nancy, okay? Nancy want to do somersaults in the bed. She talking about getting a freaking chicken and naming it Kylie. Baby, okay? I forgot that Barry was dead. And what the hell does the officer mean by, I don't think it's no foul play. It was a drug overdose. I said, sir, you see him all badly beaten, bruised, okay? Cut up, blood leaking every damn where, been rolled up in the freaking carpet. How the hell is it no foul play? Make it make sense. But nonetheless, I digress. Moving right along from there, honey. We got Dell getting kidnapped from the freaking hospital. We got Allan about to get cut up in the freaking jail, all right? We got Bobby all bruised up and him and Max going back and forth arguing like they two little damn kids. Sam finally grows a pair of balls, or did he? Honey, is a whole lot going on, okay? And Victoria ain't even trying to wait 2.5 seconds before she telling Eli to come upstairs and get in the bed with her, okay? Come on over to my place. She don't want to wait. If he don't come up, she going down. Baby, okay, let's go ahead and get into this. Break it on down. Take it from the top. You know how we do. So, of course, y'all, we start out this episode, and it really wasn't much to this episode. This episode was giving me filler, okay? We still had Dell sitting here, but, next to Kareem bed. And, of course, his cousin came in and he like, yeah, no, don't go nowhere, because Dell was trying to get the hell up and get out of here. And he's like, oh, you ain't talking all that junk you was talking when you had them, hammers that you said you knew how to use or whatever, right? And he's basically bringing up, he want to know what happened, how this happened with Kareem, who did it to him. He's trying to insinuate that Dell did it to him, and Dell like, nah, they have nothing to do with this. Then he also wants to know where's his missing stuff from the pharmacy, and Dell is like, I don't know anything about that. So of course he's like, you gonna come with me? And Dell was like, yeah, no, I'm not. Okay, that's a no for me, dog. And he pulls out a hammer on him and was like, yeah, you see this? Yeah, you are gonna come with me. So of course, he go off with him. No, nobody really cares. All right. Now, moving on from that, we get to the White House, and, Bobby finally shows up, and Max is basically like, you took your sweet time. Now, he didn't know what went down between him and Sam, so he's like, yo, ask Sam about it. If you would have got shot, you would have been taking it a little slow, too. And he's like, what? What are you talking about or whatever, right? Sam basically just smiling and talking about something, you okay. And, you didn't die, did you, right? And so he starts to tell him how Sam came and hit him with the rubber bullets, and Max is like, well, damn, he laughing about it. I warned you, I told you, maybe you're behind a slow down now, at least we know he didn't want to take you out. And he like, well, what the hell you mean by that? We both know if he did want to take you out, you would be. And, Bobby talking about some, well, one thing I'll say is he do got some balls on him. And Max was basically like, yeah, if he would have shot a little lower, then you wouldn't have your damn balls right now. Wait, let me check and make sure that you still do have them. So on one hand, Bobby is saying he's good, he's okay, he could work without no problems. But on the other hand, damn, Max keep hitting him in the freaking chest, and he keep talking about, oh God, I'm shot, okay? Stop it, it hurts, it burns. So, basically Max is like, you trying to milk it for everything you got. But then he was like, well, do you want to know what went down here while we needed you back so quick? And, Bobby pretty much like, yeah, go ahead and fill me in. And he starts to tell him about how, of course, we got hunters out and Eli's in or whatever. He's like, you got to be freaking kidding me. He's like, nope, you missed a lot. There's a whole lot of drama going on in here. So then Eli calls them in, and he's basically giving Max the assignment to look over Hunter and saying that he's going to use Bobby with his other man. there. Now, Bobby asked about his wife saying, should I go and be guard for her? He talking about some, no, she's good. She's away with the kids. I said, damn, Eli, you freaking trash. Okay, I really had some hopes in you, but you ain't shit. All right. So moving on from there, we have Donald actually go and talk to Victoria, and he's like, yo, what's going on? Like, why would you not be trying to make sure that Eli, stayed out of the office? Why would you have went and been calling him more fast? He's like, something ain't right here. You in on this, aren't you? Like, you and him was planning this together. And she telling him, nah, he bugging out, is all in his head. They gonna talk more about this in the morning. And then she stops and she's basically like, you know what? No, as a matter of fact, you gonna get the hell on up out of here. You ain't going in there to talk to, Simone about nothing. And she basically tells the guard that's outside of Simone's, where she's being held in the bunker, to not let him in, okay, under any damn, means necessary. And she tells Donald that he gotta come on and leave with her. And he like, all right, ma'am, okay, ma'am, whatever you say. But of course now the wheels is moving in his head. Now back at Donald's house, I have no idea why, okay, and I really didn't care. Alonzo was there waiting. Apparently Donald had told him to go there and wait in the living room. He scares the mess out of freaking Priscilla when she's coming down, because she don't know anybody's there. And she's like, okay, well, go wait outside for him. And he's like, no, ma'am, he told me to wait right here. So she's like, okay. She was like, well, damn, y'all really ain't shit. Y'all don't be knowing nothing. Y'all not good for nothing, because you had somebody that came up in here and took out the 3 agents with no problem. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, you didn't know? She was like, yeah, you dumb. You don't know nothing anyway. Then all of a sudden she starts looking at him and she like, oh, I get it now. I understand why he wants you to hear. Of course, Alonzo, why's that, ma'am? What are you talking about? And she's like, turn around. He's like, ma'am, you know how they do. And she's like, turn around. His dumb ass, he turns around. Then she's like, bend over. Ma'am, then he bends over anyway. Then she like, oh, okay, I know what. He likes you. He's going to want to get with you or whatever. Don't let him take you up in the bedroom where we just had that dead body at, and make sure that you use protection, and tell him that I'm going to go ahead and take the guest room. I was just like, what was the point of that? I said, Alonzo, you so damn dumb. And it's sickening. So anyway, moving on from there, we basically had then went to, Nancy in the hospital with Richard or whatever the case may be. And like I said, poor damn Richard. I feel so bad for him. Like, he going through all different kind of emotions trying to get Nancy together, child. All right, she telling him about how she could do somersaults. She over here trying to flip around in the bed. He telling her, no, calm down. Please just rest for a minute. 1 minute she laughing hysterical, talking about red, rainbows, yellow horses, green freaking leprechauns or whatever, Lucky Charms, whatever, child. Okay, just talking about all different kind of nonsense. And the next minute she crying like Barry is dead or whatever. And he's just like, don't worry about it. Calm down. And she's like, no, he is. Then she starts saying how she want to get a chicken. And he like, a live chicken. And she was like, yeah, that way I could give it to Barry so he could be happy. And at this point, he just agreeing with everything that she say. She telling him how the Radukshis is not bad people. They actually good people. And she like, you don't believe me? And he like, no, I believe you. Whatever you say, I agree with you. Okay, I just want you to rest. And so she starts getting all hyped up or whatever. And I had to crack up because when the doctor came in the room, he basically was like, why are you trying to leave? Because she said she didn't want to stay here because they were saying they needed her to be there a little bit longer. And he was like, you don't like it here? She was like, hell to the no, it's too many damn white people up in here. So then Richard was apologizing to the doctor, and the doctor's like, that's okay, don't worry about it or whatever, right? And they basically just cover her back up with the blanket and telling her to go ahead and relax herself. And then he tells the doctor, like, I still have to go down to the morgue. I've been putting it off. I'm supposed to go and identify this body. And so the doctor tells him it's in the basement and take a left when he get there. And he told Nancy, like, oh, I'm going to be back. And Nancy was like, I don't give a damn, right? So I said, dag, I forgot all about the fact that Barry had even freaking passed away. I ain't even going to lie. So I'm like, poor Richard, he's dealing with this situation with Nancy. Then he still got to go down here. And I'm like, wait, did he even ever call Sam or, Priscilla to tell them about this, child? I can't really remember. But but y'all put it in the comments if y'all do. Because I'm like, he needs somebody else there with him to give him some type of support. I know for sure Sharon knew that Nancy was at the hospital because she was the one that brought her there. And then, of course, her ass is arrested. Like, is anybody ever going to be checking back on her? We shall see. So then, going from there, of course, Donald came right back down. He didn't listen to nothing Victoria said, and he's trying to talk to Simone anyway. And at first, the guy was trying to be like, no, sir, I can't let you in. You heard what the first lady said. I'll get in trouble. Then, of course, he's like, all the things I done did for you, all the things I had you do for me, like, we know too much dirt, whatever. Let me in there for a minute. I'm not going to be in there long or whatever. And he lets him in anyway, right? And so when he get in there, he trying to play like he coming in to be helpful to Simone or whatever, offering her some water and all of that kind of stuff. And he's trying to get to the bottom of it and ask her questions, and at the same time put her on like, listen, if your husband is in on this with Victoria, we in more trouble than you freaking know. It's going to be a big ass mess for a lot of us to have to end up cleaning up or whatever, right? And of course, she's just refusing to believe this. She's feeling like Victoria sent him in there, to play with her mind. It's like, not you two. I'm not going to fall for this. She was trying to say something similar. And he's like, oh, really? Was she? So he like, well, let me ask you something. What caused the big, argument or fight or whatever between y'all two to begin with? And she was like, oh, because she was trying to say she was effing my damn man. And he like, oh, was she? Interesting. I see. So, he's like, well, why would you like even want to come and fight or whatever? You feel like she lie all the time? Because he was like, yeah, she do be full of crap and she do lie about some things, but she also got some other things going on too. And she was like, well, she told me that Hunter's incapacitated and that Eli's the president now. And he's like, yeah, that's about right. That's a fact. I can definitely let you know about that, but it hasn't came public yet, but I definitely can assure you. And so she's still looking like she's confused, and she's like, well, I need to talk to him. And he keeps telling her how he can arrange it, but first he want to know some things first. So that's when he start asking about, oh, I need this information from you and what caused the fights between y'all and all of that in the first place. So he like, now that you saying it, is making more and more sense or whatever, and is really starting to come together to me. Like she was already in on this from the get-go, because she even brings up how, what made her a little curious about the situation was the fact that she was calling him on the phone and she had overheard a conversation. And he was like, well, how often was she calling? When was this? And she was like, you sure as hell are asking a lot of questions. And he's like, I'm sorry, but, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it or whatever, right? And he was like, now that it is making more sense now that you saying that or whatever, why is it not making no sense to you? I don't know. Okay, he didn't say that, but I'm saying that because it's like, girl, Simone, you done found the earring and all this other stuff, but of course she don't go into all of that with him, right? And she's like, oh, she just thirsty and she lying and she want my man or whatever the case may be. She's after my husband. And he was like, He said, well, I know you think your husband is a Boy Scout, but he really is not. And the more you saying this, the more it's actually making a lot more sense to me. And he's like, hear me out. Hunter went down and she called him immediately. And she's like, okay, well, that's what she's supposed to do. Because he was like, she called her within a few minutes. And he was like, nah, she literally requested that. And then all of a sudden, like, not this woman, think about it, think about how she works or whatever the case may be. So then when he's saying that, she gonna start laughing and be like, oh, I see. And he like, you see what? And she was like, yo, I know that you are just somebody that would work for her and try to hide things. And he was like, nah, that's not what this is. And she was like, that's exactly what this is. Like I said, I don't want to talk to nobody else but my husband. So then he just still keeps telling her that he can arrange it for her, whatever the case may be. And she was like, okay, you do that. Why are you still here? And he was like, because I'm trying to figure out what kind of woman you are. He was like, I know you be thinking your husband is a Boy Scout, but he definitely is not that. Is a lot more to him. And if I'm right about what I'm saying to you, then both of us is going to be in more trouble. Everybody going to be in trouble. Okay, we going to all be in for more than what, we bargaining for. We all be screwed. So he just pretty much left her with that or whatever. He was like, trust me, she'll do it as far as taking her behind out. And then, she told him thank you for the water, whatever. When he was leaving out, he was like, make sure nobody goes in there, and tell him, of course, if Victoria come back down to her. So she just was sitting there looking. I'm like, girl, listen, I don't know why you finding it so hard to believe. He talking about when I'm looking you in your eyes, even though your mouth saying one thing, it's coming off like your brain is actually thinking something else. All right. So I don't know, child. We'll see if Simone actually, act like she got some damn sense, because she was kind of annoying me with how innocent she think that Eli is. It's like, all this time you've been sitting here, he still haven't even came in here to check on you when he knows that you're here, girl. Like, the hell? So nonetheless, of course, Allan is over here sitting in the cell, and we see some guy come in the cell or whatever. And then he keeps being like, what are you in here for? And trying to make small talk. And Allan is not really answering him. So he's like, oh, you one of those. You going to stay quiet or whatever. You're not going to answer me. He like, well, anyway, you going to be taken out soon. Okay, they about to get rid of you because they can't take no chances. And, you can't get away with stealing their stuff. And Allan is like, what are you talking about? I didn't take nobody's stuff. I didn't do nothing. Like, what's going on here? I don't have nothing to do with nothing. And he's like, yeah, you do. That's why they sent me in here. And he's like, I got to do this because supposedly they threatened his family or whatever. So if he don't take Allan out, they will take out his family. So if it's me or you, it's going to be you. And he's like, nobody ain't coming to help you. You could scream all night. Because of course, Allan started calling from the guard, and he telling him he don't have to do this. And he was like, they all got paid to basically get lost till when the lights go out and this get done. So ain't nobody coming to help you. I said, damn, Allan, okay, child. Fight for your life. Fight for the right, Allan. That's all I can tell you, honey. Because it looked like you shit out of luck, right? And so then we basically had, what else did we have? Richard makes his way down to the morgue or whatever, and that's when he's asking the same cop that was up there trying to arrest him for supposedly choking Nancy, what happened or whatever. And he's like, oh, I don't know. It wasn't no foul play. It was a drug overdose. And we just see them go and open up the drawer, and there's a bloody, body that's laying there. And I'm just trying to understand how the hell you saying there's no foul play. It's a drug overdose. But okay, sir. And they asking, is that him? But then, Richard never answers. We also had, child, Jason still over here at the damn Rockadoochie place eating and learning that they don't like the government, and that he'll speak to the highest in the morning, and he supposedly could get a phone and, help with gas or a car, whatever, in the morning. Who gives a damn, y'all? I know I don't, okay? And he's saying he liked that and he agreed with them as far as the government, but he want to go, and they got him eating something and telling him how it's so good. Girl, I don't care about Jason, all right? And moving on from him, Sam bring his ass in the house or whatever, and he's basically like, oh, I'm home, bitch. Okay, no, he didn't say that, but he come in and she like, oh, you just gonna come walking in, huh? You just think you rule the world or whatever. You the king of the hill now, and you can walk in whenever you want. So he was like, I sure can in my damn house or whatever, right? And so she was like, you think that's just the end of it or whatever. And he was like, yeah, pretty much. So he said he wasn't going to go for this mess no more. He coming back home. He laying in his bed. She was like, what bed? The bed I'm laying in? He was like, I guess so. If you plan on getting in there too. I'm tired of this foolishness or whatever. And I'm not going to keep arguing back and forth with you either. And she's like, oh, so what are you going to do? Shoot every daggone guy that I get with? And he was like, yep. She was like, you think you got enough bullets for that? He said, you think you got enough guts? So we doing this back and forth dance, which I'm so sick and tired of, with Priscilla and freaking chat Sam, y'all. Okay, I wish that Priscilla would just either pack it up and move, or change all the damn lot, whatever you gonna do, girl. But I guess she said, well, bitch, I'm about to do something, watch me. Because after they were sitting there arguing back and forth for a minute, And Sam was like, you know, that's all I pretty much got to say about it. And he was telling her to do what she got to do. And she was like, that's what I was trying to do. And you over there running all up in there. You know, don't forget that you was screwing with the damn first lady in the White House. And, you know, whoop-de-whoop-de-woo. That's where I work at. And he gets up to walk away. And about 10 damn guys come from all different directions with all black on and start beating on him while she's sitting back sipping on some freaking wine. I said, child, really, this what we gonna do? This what we gonna do? What the hell gonna happen next, Sam? You gonna have ninjas come in and beat up on her? But child, anyway, Victoria calls up Elon. She like, what you doing? Why you wasting time? I'm up here in this bed. I'm horny as hell. I want you to come upstairs. I want you in this bed with me. If you don't come up here, I'm going to be down there. He telling her, don't she think it's a little too soon? And she talking about some no. Okay, it's right on time. He's like, I'm not too sure that that's a good idea. And of course, when she said, if you don't come, you know, up, I'm going to come down. He's like, well, maybe that's for the best. And she's like, no, I want you in this bed. And he laughing, you know what? And she's like, what's that? And he's basically like, well, I'm the president. And she's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. She says, don't make me wait too long or whatever, right? And he said, I won't. And I'm like, how the hell is all of this going to work? And you still not going to go check on your damn wife? Eli, Jesus Christ. I swear these people trash. Anyway, y'all, that was the Oval. Tell me what y'all thought about this episode, honey. What you liked, what you didn't like, all that good stuff. Anything that I ain't talk about, put it in the comments. We'll talk about it down there. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you were so inclined. Till next time, y'all. Toodaloo.